The Honorable Favour Williams, Member of Parliament, Minister of Education, Youth and Information. The Honorable Robert Morgan, MP, Minister of State in the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. Dr. Grace McLean, Acting Permanent Secretary. Dr. Kasian Troop, Acting Chief Education Officer. Dr. Tamika Benjamin, National Mathematics Coordinator, and other members of the National Mathematics Team. The Executive Management Team at the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. Regional Directors, teachers, students, parents. A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, students, teachers, parents, the entire Jamaica from all across the platforms. Wagwan, how you do? My name is IT, yes, Ian IT Ellis. IT is an acronym, yes, ITY, it means I thank you. I thank you all for joining us this morning for the observation of National Mathematics Week 2021. Of course, it happens from March 28 right through to April 1. The theme is Born to Do Math. Have you been born to do math? Interesting discourse that we'll have today. Listen to me. All of us who are born to do math, it's in everything that we do. You know, think about when you cook, you have to measure different portions when you put in your food. If you put too much, like if you're cooking salt fish and you put salt in the salt fish, then you know what is going to happen. So you have to measure correctly. Today is the first day of Math Explosion, the virtual edition, and we're going to have some fun here today, all right? 1, 2, 3, multiplication, division, yes. So to get the fun rolling up in here, let's take a quick walk down memory lane and see what some people think about math. Take a look at the video.
1, 2, 3. Maths for you and me and he and me. Your friends gone to work. Them a do the maths. We a early for school. Me a do the maths. Me polishing my shoes. Me pulling up my socks. Taxi man collecting fear. I fi do the maths.
I love math because it is useful in everyday life.
My best level not drop and be proud of that. Maths in the schools need to improve that.
I was born to do math.
Challenge myself, set goals up top. Maths are for me, maths are for you. Look how hard me I work, oh God. Now feel maths me work.
You are a good maths student.
Student out there now, one straight A's now. Maths in my world, my world. Maths in my world, my world.
Math is the doorway to my dreams.
1, 2, 3. Maths for you and me and he and me. Your friends gone to work. Them a do the maths. We a early for school. Me a do.
You can think critically.
Me pulling up my socks. Taxi man collecting fear. I fi do the maths. The my best level not drop and be proud of that. Maths in the schools need to improve that. Challenge myself, set goals up.
I am capable of learning math.
And be proud of that. Maths in the schools need to improve that. Challenge myself, set goals up top. Maths are for me, maths are for you.
Your math improves every day.
Maths are for me, maths are for you.
I am a problem solver.
Your maths me work so hard. Confident out there now. One straight A's now. Maths in my world, my world. Maths in my world, my world. ABC, 1, 2, 3. Maths for you and me and he.
It's for you and me. You know, during the video, I saw 1 or 2 persons point directly at me. Yes, that they were pointing at me and say, you can do maths. I receive it and believe it. Maths. I spoke about acronym at the very beginning. My name, ITY, I thank you. But my Christian name is Ian, I-A-N. I-A-N. I am new. I am new today as I engage with maths because all of us can do maths. Maths, acronym, mistakes allow thinking to happen. I love that. Mistakes allow thinking to happen. So, we're all going to be having fun with maths here today, but let's just welcome for an overview Dr. Tamika Benjamin, National Mathematics Coordinator. Please help me make her welcome as she gives us an overview on math.
The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information celebrates National Mathematics Week, March 28 to April 1, 2021, under the theme, Born to Do Math. I know that there are many Jamaicans who will hear that theme and question whether it is applicable to them, as unfortunately, too many of us have developed a fear of mathematics, with some struggling with mathematics anxiety. Regardless of your apprehensions, the theme is true for you too. We are all born to do math. Being born to do math does not mean we will not have to struggle to understand some concepts. Being born to do math does not mean we will not have to work hard to master some concepts. Being born to do math simply means we all have the ability to engage mathematics ideas just as we all do every day. We engage mathematics when we are planning and preparing a meal, when we shop for food or groceries, when we create a budget, or when we plan our trip to work or school. You see, there's hardly anything we do which does not involve some mathematical idea or principle. As we celebrate National Mathematics Week 2021, the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information wants to use this opportunity to remind every single Jamaican citizen, every boy or girl, every man or woman, every teacher, parent, whether you are young or old, regardless of your walk in life, you are born to do math. Through the work of the National Mathematics Program, led by a team of coordinators, specialists, and coaches, the ministry remains ready to continue to provide support to teachers, students, and parents aimed at improving the teaching and learning of mathematics. Our goal is to help teachers engage students more effectively so that they find their mathematics lessons more meaningful and see the relevance of the concepts being taught. As a result, our children will be better able to apply concepts taught in the classroom and use them in their everyday experiences more effectively. Despite the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, the team has continued to work with all our stakeholders using a variety of platforms through online webinars, workshops, and lessons facilitated on television and radio. We are committed to providing the support which will ensure the success of every Jamaican child in mathematics. Parents and teachers, let us encourage our children to believe in themselves, to struggle through the challenging concepts, to ask questions for which answers will bring clarity, to work hard, be persistent, and determined. No child should be punished for an incorrect answer or for taking too long to respond to a question. Instead, our children should be engaged to review their responses and thinking with an aim to help them identify their errors and develop a deeper understanding of the underlying concepts. If we all take this encouraging approach and change the culture and climate of our mathematics classrooms, Jamaica would have taken the first major step to help all our children truly believe they are born to do math. As we celebrate National Mathematics Week 2021, we look forward to engaging you in the Make Math Loud Challenge, the Math Explosion, the virtual edition, scheduled for primary students on March 31, 2021, and the secondary students on March 31, 2021. Join us as we engage in a wide variety of mathematics games, hear from persons from various fields how they use mathematics, and listen to motivational talks. All this is aimed at making math loud, reminding us all that math counts, and reinforcing you are all born to do math.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tamika Benjamin, the National Mathematics Coordinator. Listen, you are born to do math. You know, if you say anything too often over yourself, it manifests. A quick story. I went to try out for the Manning Cup team because I played minor league football for St. George's College, right? And at the time, I was playing around with some friends, you know, and when selection come, because I was often playing around with friends, you know, on the football team, joking around, the coach, never burst his bell, told me, he said, "You're a joker." He said to me, "You are a joker." I didn't make the team, you know, and my life manifests being a joker. So, similarly, if you say, "I am born to do math," then, trust me, over time it will manifest. Yes, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, it will come true. Now listen, since we have gotten the official sermon out of the way, and we thank all those who are coming later, but right now, it's game time. Game time. What does that mean? I want 5 volunteers. Listen, come into the Zoom. You can use the raise hand icon. Just come into the Zoom. I have some games for you. All right. So while you're coming into the Zoom, listen. I am going to be introducing some performers who have been in the business for over 35 years, experienced, award-winning performers. These performers, they have been rehearsing this for so many years. They are ready to bring to you an awesome performance. I'm talking about none other than the veterans in this business. I'm talking about DuPont Primary Infant School. Watch this video.
Sarah Chats, grade 4. Tiara Clark, grade 5. Shawnee's Willis, grade 5.
Aspen Macklem, grade 5.
Ezra Ashburn, grade 5.
Children Bradshaw, grade 5.
We are students from the Bond Primary and Infant School. We present Maths in My World. Yay!
Now the big tune called Maths in My World. Yeah. All the NSC students, them, big up on yourself.
Maths in my world. Maths in my world. Listen, stop mix us up. Let people see me, and I'm a part of a duo, right? For many years, IT and Fancy Cat. Sometimes people see me and call me both names. Yo, what about IT and Fancy Cat? I said, excuse me, I'm IT. So much so that we did an ad years ago for maths, right? It's called Maths Counts, right? And people see me and say, oh, I go downtown and see somebody I sell marina. Him says $6,000, right? And I decided to go to somebody else who I sell $200 for one. The man said $6,000, you know, and I go buy $200 and get 5 and spend $1,000. And them tell me say I'm me. And them don't watch the video, you know. It's not me. A motherfucker say a cameraman here right now in Reasonable Fancy Cat. I won't call him name, you know. I won't call his name, but he's right behind the camera. People mix us up every day, but listen, don't mix up the maths, all right? Now, I'm sure you are getting ready. I hope you are ready in the chat. 5 volunteers, because game time is coming up. But in the meantime, between time, we're going to be inviting our Minister of Education, Youth and Information, the Honorable Favor Williams, who will bring us greetings. She'll be followed by State Minister Robert Nestor Morgan to address you. Cast your eyes on the screen.
Every day, math teachers hear the same question from their students. Why do I need to do math? The funny answer from one teacher is, because someday your children will ask you for help with their math homework. A more serious answer is, though, because knowing math will keep as many doors as possible open in your future. Math is like a gym for your brain. You may never need to use the quadratic equation in your adult life, but the process of learning it boosts your brain power. By practicing how to solve math problems, you improve your ability to make complex decisions down the road. Those who study how our brain works say that studying abstract concepts like algebra forces your brain to think in new ways, building the connections it will need to understand whatever problems the future might bring. Yes, I know, math can be an intimidating subject for many. Those who understand math very well say that is because math builds so vertically upon previous knowledge. That is, you cannot truly understand multiplication without addition, nor algebra without basic arithmetic, nor calculus without algebra, and so on. Even one small misstep along the journey of math education, if not remediated, can start a vicious cycle of frustration and confusion for years to come. And the earlier the misstep, the greater the domino effect. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information understands this. We know that early intervention is the key to ensuring that solid math foundation. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information is encouraging all our students to be a part of the activities for National Math Week during March 28 to April 1 under the theme, Born to Do Math. Yes, we all can do math. Studies show that we arrive in this world hardwired with the basic number abilities and very probably everything we learn later in life about mathematics build on this fundamental core. I encourage all Jamaicans to embrace the activities associated with this Math Week. Even though these months of mixed learning modalities for students and teachers are challenging and fluid, the current moment presents an opportunity to examine critical areas in need of support. the performance of Jamaican students in math at all levels of the education system continues to be a point of concern for the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, school leadership, teachers, and the private and public sector at large. The main purpose of National Mathematics Week is to highlight the beauty, the utility and applicability of math, and also to dispel this myth that the subject is difficult, cold, abstract, and only accessible to a few. Math is often considered a strictly rational discipline, and the subject can play an important emotional and psychological role during uncertain times, giving students productive tools to battle fear and misinformation. Human history has been built on mathematics and will continue to be the bedrock of knowledge, skills, and competencies, which are pertinent in this technologically driven age in which we live and must compete. The Education Ministry is looking forward to very positive outcomes from the celebration and observance of this important period, which I know will over time impact significantly on the performance of our students in this very critical discipline. I anticipate that despite the strict adherence to COVID-19 health protocols, you will have fun, learn some new things, and become mathematically charged and empowered, because you are born to do math.
Welcome to National Mathematics Week. The theme for this year is Born to do Math. Mathematics is the cradle of all creations. Without math, the world cannot move an inch, be it a chef, farmer, carpenter, mechanic, a nurse, a doctor, an engineer, a scientist, a lawyer, or even a pilot. Everyone needs mathematics in their day-to-day life. Learning and incorporating mathematics in our lives aids and nurtures many important qualities that will be effective to our well-being. Qualities such as the power of reasoning, creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, and even effective communication skills. Therefore, emphasis should be put on the development of a clear concept in mathematics in children, right from the early childhood level. The greatest hurdle in the process of learning mathematics is the lack of practice. So I'm asking parents to assist teachers and students as best as they can. Students should work at least 10 questions daily in different areas to master the concepts and develop speed and accuracy in solving math problems. Learning multiplication tables should be encouraged in the lower classes because children who have a strong grasp from the early age tend to be more self-assured when learning new concepts at a later stage. The present age is one of skills development and innovation. The more mathematical we are in our approach, the more successful we will be. Mathematics offers rationality to our thoughts and is a tool in our hands to make our lives simpler and easy to navigate. Let us realize and appreciate the beauty of the subject and embrace it with all our heart. It is a skill that should be owned by all in every walk of life. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The double presentations from our ministers, various ministers, Minister in Education, and of course we just heard from the other minister, junior minister there, Mr. Honorable Robert Nestor Morgan. All right, now I know I told you earlier, and I know you're getting ready. Get ready, because game time, competition time, winning time is coming up. All right. And when I say get ready, because when you're ready, we're just gonna go. All right? And listen, don't confuse the time, don't confuse the numbers. In fact, I have a special bonus that later on I'm going to give you a prize for. Anybody who can tell me how many persons are in the duo, IT and FanScat. Think about it. Think about it. It might seem easy, but how many persons are in the duo, IT and FanScat? Somebody saw us recently, and they were confused. They didn't know who we were, and somebody said it looked like 1/3. If you know 1/3, 1/3 is a singing group, 3 persons. I'll talk to you about it later on. All right, so we're still in the week. This is the National Mathematics Week 2021. Of course, the theme is Born to Do Math. All right, and now, I know I told you about the games, but before that, we're going to go for some math formations. All right, we're going to go for some math formation. In fact, listen, let's just wait on the math formation, and then we're going to go to, like acronyms, talk about math, mistake, allow thinking to happen. We're going to go to JDF, the Jamaica Defense Force. All right, now let's hear from one of the ministry's valued partners, the Jamaica Defense Force. Tell us how he used math in his job, after which we will hear from the Acting Chief Education Officer in the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, Dr. Kason Troop. So we'll go there. Cast your eyes on the screen for this presentation firstly from the JDF. So what up?
My name is Lieutenant Junior Grade Damian Lawson. I'm a navigating officer on board HMJS Middlesex and a navigation instructor here at 1st District JDF Coast Guard. When I was in primary school and then all the way up until high school, I probably didn't realize how much I would be using math in my line of work. I didn't really know what I wanted to do in terms of a career until I was probably 3rd or 4th form, and that was when I decided to join the JDF. As soon as I joined, after I finished my basic military training at Newcastle, and when I went overseas to do my commissioning course, that is when I quickly discovered that math is going to be a very, very heavy part of my duties as a seagoing and navigating officer in the fleet here. When I think about the application of math at the 1st District JDF Coast Guard, my first thought is going to sea and how I use it to, one, alter my navigation and plan it in the first place, such that I can make sure that when I am given a destination by my ship captain, I can make sure that I know exactly what time we need to leave and what speed we need to do to achieve that goal. And also whilst we're underway, so whilst we're at sea, I will use that math to do simple calculations that allow me to, one, make sure I'm staying on that track that I planned through the water, as well as account for other things that I will see at sea, such as other ships. And it will allow me to do calculations that will basically control how close or how far apart I will be away from those ships, and this helps when I want to stay far away from commercial ships or when I want to close in on a contact, such as like a fishing boat that we decided to board and scenarios like that. Math is also something that I've experienced the need for in my daily life, whether it's financial planning and budgeting or just simple day-to-day things, just buying gas, everything like that. All of those things take some amount of math, and the better you are at it, I've realized, is the better simple day-to-day tasks in your life will be. Math is not just a science, it's also a discipline in the sense of formula and how they work. It really helps if you understand how they work from the basics, and you'll realize how much that applies to everyday living. I would say that practice it and try and get really good at it, because at the end of the day, you do not know necessarily what your career is going to be all the way down the line, 10, 15, 20 years. And you never know one day when you're going to need to remember one of those skills that you learned in high school. I never really thought that one day the tables would turn and I would be the teacher trying to teach students math, as I am now as a navigation instructor. So having that basic understanding all the way from high school really made it quite easy for me to grasp and fully understand the knowledge. And I believe that the purest way of understanding something is being able to teach it to someone else. So in that sense, I'm very, very happy that I spent the time that I did studying and putting my efforts into math. And now it enables me to effectively conduct my job. Math counts.
morning, ladies and gentlemen, and most importantly, good morning to our boys and girls. This week is being celebrated as our National Mathematics Week, which is an important opportunity for all Jamaicans to focus on the central role that math plays in our everyday activities and its imperative for many career choices. I am therefore delighted to bring greetings at the start of our National Mathematics Week 2021. And I would like to express my deepest appreciation for the work of our instructional leaders, who are our principals, our instructional experts, our teachers, our specialists and coaches, and our parents who work with our boys and our girls to help them to master the basics of math and become more proficient in the subject. This year's theme, Born to Do Math, is aimed at reinforcing the practical nature of mathematics in the lives of all our citizens. The fact is, ladies and gentlemen, math occupies a central place in the school curriculum in most, if not all, countries because of its importance in our lives. Unfortunately, many people remain intimidated by the subject. Yet, given developments in technology and changes in the way we do business, increasingly, more and more people are beginning to appreciate why we need to be mathematically literate. The fact is, math is one of our core subjects here in Jamaica and provides a foundation for further studies in most disciplines in the sciences, business, and the arts. Numeracy, or mathematical knowledge, is also necessary in a range of life skills, such as personal finance, that is, choosing your mortgage, budgeting, negotiating your phone contracts, among many other activities of this nature. To this end, ladies and gentlemen, the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information has committed more resources over the past 5 years with the help of our international partners to improve the teaching of mathematics in our schools. The ministry has invested significant resources to provide professional development and empowerment programs for teachers aimed at improving the teaching and learning of math in Jamaica. Under the National Mathematics Program, for example, we developed and implemented a comprehensive mathematics policy to improve teacher and teaching quality, to improve the culture surrounding the teaching and learning of math, and to facilitate coaching for our teachers. So, against that background, the main objective of the National Mathematics Week is to help to change the attitudes and the views of students, teachers, and the general population about the subject. This year's series of public education events, workshops, and seminars, Dr. Tamika Benjamin, our National Mathematics Coordinator, and their expert team of coaches and specialists are working to deepen the appreciation for math within and among our students and the wider society. Our hope is that this week's activities will help all of us to appreciate that we were born to do math. You were born to do math. I thank you.
You were born to do math, right, boys and girls? You were born to do math. Say I was born to do math. All right, boys and girls, remember, listen, if you say it often enough, it will become true. Yes, believe me. You were born to do math. I want to thank very much, of course, Damian Lawson, Lieutenant Junior Grade, who shared his story and shared the importance of maths that he's using in his job right now. Also, I want to thank the Acting Chief Education Officer in the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, Dr. Kassan Troop. All right? Now, brace yourselves, boys and girls. I know you're hearing me clearly. I told you about game time. Guess what? It's game time. Game time. It's game time. All right, listen. Are you ready? Brace yourselves. Calm down in the chat. Calm down. Brace yourselves. 5 volunteers. It's going to be timed. All right? Are you ready? You listening? All right. Here goes. I want you to find an item in your house. Yes. A single item in your house that has 4 legs. That's one. Wait. Don't rush it. Don't rush. Listen. Come back to the camera. Don't rush it. All right? An item in your house that has 4 legs and another item that can measure time. You cannot use your phone. All right? You cannot use your phone. Speaking of time, you have 1 minute to do it. All right. Those who are complaining that they only have 1 minute, all right, I'm going to fix that. You don't want 1 single minute. All right, I'm going to give you 60 seconds. 60 seconds to get it done. All right? So you can't say, I didn't give you enough time. All right? So that time starts now. Go. Go and get an item with 4 legs, another item, 2 items, and an item, an instrument used to measure time. My producer, she'll identify the winners, and she'll tell us, using the timestamp, the first person to bring it on screen. All right? Rush in to bring it on screen. Let me see now who has done it. I won't call the name until it has been confirmed by my producer. All right? Get one thing that has 4 legs. And, all right? I see you, Sajay. I see you, Brandon. I see you, Brandon, Sajay. Delane, Caviar. I see you, Kava. All right? Now, you are wondering who is the winner. The winner is Brandon. Congratulations, Brandon. B-R-A-N-D-O-N. Brandon, you are a winner. Brandon, congratulations, Brandon. Oh, Brandon, can you hear me? Turn on your microphone.
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Congratulations, Brandon. Brandon, that's part A of the question, right? Part A was for you to go and find the item, and you did so, and you did so within 60 seconds. Now, the part B is, Brandon?
Yes, sir.
You can hear me and see me? No,
yes,
Brandon,
sir.
Can you spell your name?
Yes, sir, I can.
Go ahead and spell it.
B-R-A-N-D-O-N.
How many letters are in your name?
7.
7 letters are in your name. Brandon, you are a double winner. All right? And listen now, Brandon. You have gotten a free trip, an all expense paid free trip, but not to the next round. You cannot go to the next round because you are already a winner. So the next round is for the other volunteers, the other 4 volunteers who did not win. But congrats, Brandon. You are a star, a trooper. All right? The first winner in this National Mathematics Week 2021, Born to Do Math, that was Brandon. And of course, we're going to go to round 2. All right? Wasn't I fair? I gave you 60 seconds. That's fair, right? All right. So, next round. You ready? All right. Listen carefully. Find a plane that is a rectangular prism. Prism, not prison. Prism with an M at the end, right? And find an item that has intersecting lines. Let me go again. Find a plane plane that is a rectangular prism and find an item that has intersecting lines. Brandon, you cannot win this one. Somebody else will have a chance to win this one. Remember, let's see who wins this one. Yes, you have 60 seconds to win it. All right? Let me see who is going for it now. Let me see who's going for it now. Sajay?
Yes, sir.
Did you find that item that I asked you to find an item that has...
I didn't find it.
You didn't find it?
I must find it. So I'm just going to go and look at it.
Okay, all right. Well, Sajay is looking, and I'm sure other volunteers are looking too. Find a plane that is a rectangular prism, and find an item that has intersecting lines. Intersecting lines. All right? You have to thinking. A rectangular prism or cuboid. Trying to simplify it for you. Cuboid. You know what a cube is? You know the game Rubik's Cube? You know what a cube is? I don't want to give away too many cues. All right. So, all right. You have 60 seconds. The time is. Listen. When I said 60 seconds, I meant 60 Jamaican seconds, not 60 U.S. seconds, because U.S. seconds would be a different amount of seconds. All right. Not the equivalent.
I found it.
You found it? I hear a voice of somebody.
That has intersected lines.
You found something that has intersecting lines. My producer, can you confirm? You found something that has intersecting lines? Can you tell me your name? Can you hear me? He said he has found something that has intersecting lines. All right? A rectangular prism, a cuboid.
Good morning. Good morning.
A very good morning. All right? All right. I'm giving you some more time to identify the second item, a cuboid. All right, a cuboid. So the first item is a plane, well, an item that has intersecting lines, and another that's a cuboid. All right? And that was easy, but not for everybody. It wasn't easy for Brandon because he wasn't in this round. But it was easy for Rebecca Keane. Yes, Rebecca Keane. Congratulations. 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 Rebecca, congrats. Let me say hi to Rebecca. Where's Rebecca? Rebecca, you can turn on your camera. Rebecca Keane, you can turn on your camera and your audio so we can hear and see you. Rebecca, congratulations, congratulations. Where is Rebecca? Where is Rebecca? Where is Rebecca? Rebecca, you coming on screen now, Rebecca? You are a winner. Don't be shy. Don't be shy, Rebecca. All right. That was a fun game. There were fun games in both rounds. Congratulations to Brandon. Also, congratulations to Rebecca, who won in the second round. All right? 60 seconds. Now, let us cool down from some of the fun and the interactions in the game. And let us prepare ourselves to listen to a message from the Port Authority of Jamaica, followed by the National Mathematics Teacher of the Year 2020, and a final message from our international partner, UNESCO.
Representing the Port Authority of Jamaica for National Mathematics Week 2021. I will share with you how we use maths in our business. Let me first congratulate the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information on this initiative, given the importance of mathematics in business and in our personal lives. A little about the Port Authority of Jamaica. We are the government of Jamaica's chief maritime agency. We are regulators and developers of ports and port facilities across Jamaica, and our major business segments are cargo and cruise shipping. It was said by Paul Halmos that the only way to learn mathematics is to do mathematics. So we cannot stress enough the importance of having a firm grasp of the principles of mathematics. Let me give you 3 examples of how mathematics helps us at the Port Authority to carry out our functions. Firstly, for the cruise industry, we are responsible for the island's 5 cruise ports at Montego Bay, Falmouth, Ocho Rios, Port Antonio, and Port Royal in Kingston. Before COVID, we usually welcome over 1 million passengers each year at these ports, and we charge each passenger to enter the island. Let's say we charge US $10 per person and a ship is docked at Port Royal with 1,000 passengers. Therefore, we use mathematics to establish the total amounts to be collected, which is US $10 times 1,000 passengers, which equals revenues of $10,000 US. Secondly, for the container shipping industry, maths is used to determine how much time it takes for a cargo ship to load and discharge containers for goods being exported and imported. This helps us to plan to ensure we have the right number of employees working on equipment and avoid the congestion of ships at our ports. Our pilot boat service is another important area where our marine pilots must navigate or pilot the ships into and out of our ports. This is also dependent on a knowledge of maths. For an incoming vessel, in order to determine the time it takes to reach the vessel from land, we can simply divide the distance by the speed. So these are just a few examples that demonstrate the importance of having a firm foundation in maths and how it is used in making crucial decisions every day in the shipping industry. Thank you.
Keisha Lawson for sharing with us the importance of maths. Maths is very important. It's like measurement of time. Like if I'm going on the stage to do a performance and I'm told I have 25 minutes, and the person following has a different number, I have to pay attention to my time, because if I overstep my time, then it intersects in the other person's time, and then we start to run out of time, and then everybody get late, and then everything's spoiled. So maths is very important, and I'm going to be reinviting the Honorable Favour Williams, of course, the Minister of Education, Youth and Information, to come and greet us again now live and to interact with us. And you, especially boys and girls, help me welcome Honorable Favour Williams.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Awesome. Thank you. I think we have some members from our Ministry of Education, Youth and Information on. I also want to say a good morning to our moderator this morning and to welcome all of you who are on. Thank you for waking up to be here this morning. So I'm pleased to welcome you here to continue our activities for National Mathematics Week 2021. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information obviously considers this a very important event on our annual calendar. And so we're happy to share with you today. Normally, we would do it in the physical space, in your schools, in your classrooms. But as you know, we are all living through this pandemic. And so we have to be home, and then we have to use the digital platform to talk to each other. And I hope you're using your tablets, your laptops to get in touch with your friends and to access education in whatever way you can. We have to be doing this until we're able to safely get out of this pandemic. I know it has disrupted many activities for you, but we're pressing on nevertheless. And so I say, pandemic or no pandemic, we are having Math Week this week. And I hope you're excited by that, because our theme is Born to Do Math. How many of you believe that you're born to do math? Everyone, I see people responding. Yes. Everybody, all of us as human beings are born to do math. Our brains are wired to do math. And we do math sometimes unconsciously. When you go to the shop and your mom or your parents, your grandmom gives you $1,000 and say, go to the shop and buy whatever, a bag of crackers, go buy a pound of sugar, you have to know how much change you should get back after making that purchase. You have to know how much is a pound of sugar. And if you give the shopkeeper $1,000, you need to know how much change you're getting back. Because I'm sure when you go back home, the adult is going to ask you, if the change is short, what happened to this change? And so math is with us all around us. The men who play dominoes on the corner, they're doing math unconsciously, right? You have 28 dominoes, you have dots on the dominoes that you have to know what they represent. They do really quick calculations in their head to try to figure out what is on the domino that the other person has. That's all math that you're using. There's so many examples of math in our lives. And what we want to do under the theme of Born to Do Math is to say to all of you boys and girls, you have the brain to do math. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You can learn math. We want you not to be afraid. We want you to open up yourselves to beginning to understand math. We have to start at the basics. You have to start with the addition, subtraction, multiplication. You have to start with those and build on it. Math builds on itself vertically. And you have to learn the basics properly in order to go on to the next step. You have to understand the concepts that are being taught to you as to why this is so in math. Math is a very precise discipline, but it helps you to think. And let me give you a perfect example. As we go through this pandemic, every day we get numbers about the number of COVID cases. And then we get some ratios. There's one ratio called the positivity ratio. It means on that particular day, they might, they have a certain number of persons that they would have given the COVID-19 test to, and the number of persons who tested positive. When you take that number, you divide it by the population, the number of persons who tested, it gives you the positivity number. So our recent positivity number is 30-something%. That means 1 in 3 persons has COVID. I mean, that's what those numbers are telling us. But that's a math calculation that you'd have to do. And then it helps you in terms of your decision making. Because if you understand that, then you go, okay, I must wear my mask. I must social distance. I must wash my hands every time. Without, you're not even arguing with yourself anymore about this. It's something that you have to do, because through math and your understanding, you recognize that we're in a very, very dangerous situation here. So boys and girls, my dream, my goal is for you to not be afraid of math, to not say math is hard, I can't do it. No, you are born to do math. And I want you to believe that this morning, that you're born to do it. Obviously, you have to be taught certain concepts. You have to be taught certain things. And sometimes it's a way that we're taught things that cause us to resist it or not accept it. but I want you to open your minds because learning math now and continuing to build on it as you go, as you progress in your class, will open up a lot of opportunities for you as you progress, not only in the education sector, but as you become adults and you look for job opportunities. Math, if two graduating students leave college and they are interviewing for a job, I guarantee you that the person who has done well in math will be that person that people will gravitate towards because they know that this person knows how to work hard, can think, is not afraid of difficult problems, and so on, relative to somebody else who hasn't done any math or who's afraid of math. So I implore you, if you hear nothing else today, I want you to walk away with this belief that you can do math. You were born to do math. And I want you to take it on. Look for math in your life. When you wake up in the mornings, it's there. You can begin by counting the number of persons in your household. All kinds of ways where we can see math, but we have to be conscious of it. And over time, it will cause us to become experts at math because you learn it in real life. You see it in your books. You go to class, the teachers talk about it and help you through the problems. And as you progress through the different levels of math, you will begin to just develop this love for math. You'll just wonder, wow, is this me? Is this the same person who didn't like math, a few years ago? So, all right, boys and girls, thank you again. Thank you for being here. I know there are many of you on, and I want to now stop the talking and allow you to ask me whatever questions and to let's just chat a little bit.
Thank you very much, Honorable Favor Williams, the Minister of Education, is here with us. Thank you very much for interacting with us and telling us the importance of using math, especially now with what's happening, like for example, if the curfew time is, it ends at 5 a.m. If you come out at 4, it means, you miss the maths. The maths at 5 a.m. So you have to come out at 5. So maths very, very important. In fact, math is so important that for this week, we're going to be having 2 days of this celebration. Now, if you come here on the 3rd day, we won't be here because math is important. Like when I go to church, they say we can only have 12 persons, So we have to make sure it's 12, like the 12 apostles or the 12 tribes of Israel. And we use it to remind us that 12. All right? So, math is very, very, very important. All right? Now, listen, Brandon and Rebecca, I don't know who is telling you, but you are the winners. All right, so what you're going to need to do is to go inside the chat, and you need to, because we've been trying to contact you both, Brandon and Rebecca. Go in the chat and just type something to Latoya Shuraya. Look for that name. It's a unique surname. It's Shurriah. Shurriah. Latoya Shurriah. Just type to her and say, I am Brandon. And Rebecca just say, I am Rebecca. So she can acknowledge you. Because that's the only way you can get into your winnings. All right? So, I don't know why there was a delay, but I'm telling you that you are the winner. Brandon, you can say, I'm a winner. All right? Thank you very much. Okay, now we cooled down and we heard from our minister. Now, if there are any questions for our minister, you can ask her now. She's ready. She's available to answer your questions. You can type, just raise your hand in the chat. You can type your questions in the chat, and she'll be prepared to answer those questions too. I want to ask her a question too. I want to ask her if she did math in high school, because, you know, me and maths, we are like this. We're very close. Very, very close. Me and maths, very close. So I don't know if you are very close to maths, so you ought to be very close to maths because it's extremely important. All right, so if you have a question to ask our Honorable Minister, you can type it in the chat. We will get the question and we'll ask her. In fact, she will see the question and then she can respond accordingly. All right? Okay, boys and girls. I know you're hearing me clearly. All right? In the meantime, between time, we are going to be hearing from the National Mathematics Teacher of the Year 2020. All right? Let's go and hear from her or him.
As we celebrate National Math Week 2021, I want you to know that you were born to do math. Many persons have a bad perception of math, and this moves down from one generation to another. For many, it is either I can do it well or I cannot do it at all. Oftentimes we say, I am not a math person, but that is most times used when an individual finds something difficult. Everything is difficult until you learn how to do it. Like swimming and other activities, the more you do it, the better you become at it. Some persons may progress faster than others, but that does not mean that it cannot be done. Math just needs the right environment, attitude, adequate resources, practice, and discipline. There is a myth that says math requires logic, not intuition. However, studies have shown that math is innate and that children enter the world with a head for numbers. Everyone has mathematical intuition. They just have not learned to use or trust it. Everything in the environment requires some level of math skills. A person without a formal education will know that if purchasing a bed, the area of the bed cannot be greater than the area of the room. That's math. An individual may not be able to read, but he knows how much he is to get in total if he works 3 days at $1,500 per day. In the same context, a customer will know how to calculate his change when he makes a purchase. We were born to do math. In grades 7 and 8 whilst in high school, I failed math. While with just a little motivation from my math teacher in grade 9, my math life changed forever. I decided that I needed to do well. If at that time I told myself that I was not born to do math, then I would not have gotten a grade 1 in CSET math and subsequently the 2020 National Mathematics Teacher of the Year. Listen, you not spend no time with math so you can't get it done. Yeah, you not spend no time with math so you can't get it done. Yeah, spend a little time each day to do some math questions. One math a day keeps bad grades away. Students, parents, guardians, teachers, Jamaican, I was born to do math. You were born to do math. And as such, we are all born to do math. You are a math star. Math counts. Happy Math Week. And remember, you were born to do math.
Message from Miss Audrey Azule, Director General of UNESCO, on the occasion of the first International Day of Mathematics. Nisaba, woman sparkling with joy or righteous woman. Scribe, lady who knows everything. A one-rod reed and a measuring rope of lapis lazuli or a yardstick, and a writing board which gives wisdom, Nisaba generously bestowed them on you. Thus, at the beginning of the second millennium BCE, the scribes of Nippur spoke of the gift of mathematics bestowed by the goddess Nisaba, making her the female figurehead of a burgeoning science. On this first International Day of Mathematics, we are celebrating a universal history which began in Paleolithic Africa more than 20,000 years ago and has continued relentlessly ever since. All the great mathematicians, both men and women, have contributed to this history. Now, at a time when too few girls and women are drawn to the fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, this day is an opportunity to celebrate them, from Hypatia in Greek antiquity to the mathematicians who won our L'Oreal UNESCO Prize for Women in Science, such as Ingrid Dabucci and Claire Voisin in 2019, and Miriam Mirzakhani, who passed away in 2017. Winner of the prize in 2014, Miriam Mirzakhani is still the only woman mathematician to have received the Fields Medal out of 60 recipients. By making these women role models for girls all over the world, UNESCO is fighting against stereotypes and is committed to ensuring that mathematics receives all the energy it needs to fulfill its role for our societies. The images of the yardstick and measuring tape remind us of the real effectiveness of this science, which has developed between the most tangible problems and the greatest abstraction. Mathematics, with its many technical applications, now underpins all areas of our lives. Together with algorithms, mathematics is at the heart of the development of artificial intelligence and a technical disruption. That is why it is of key importance for countries' development. With its educational programs and through its regional centers dedicated to mathematics in Hanoi and Accra, its chairs in Benin, Nigeria, and Palestine, and the programs in Asia, Africa, and America of the International Center for Pure and Applied Mathematics in Nice, UNESCO is committed on a daily basis to enabling access to mathematics education and research in developing countries. Some countries have recently declared mathematics to be in crisis, being rejected by students who consider the subject to be boring. This day is all about remembering what mathematics is for, and in particular, how it can be the basis of innovation for sustainable development. We must recognize that mathematics, even in its most theoretical aspects, really concerns all of us. As an ideal and indispensable tool for understanding the world and building our future, mathematics is a gift of never-ending generosity. We still have so much to explore.
Okay, we still have so much to explore. And of course, you've been getting these presentations all day, and we just heard from Kelly Kellia. She is in fact the national, well, earlier we heard from Kelly Kellia, the national mathematics champion for 2020. All right. Remember, we still have our Education Minister, the Honorable Favour Williams, on. I remember, students, you can ask her some questions, students. You know, students, you can ask her questions. You know, she's ready to hear from you. And ask her some maths-oriented questions. You know, like how many years are in a term? You know, I like when she's in office, you know, she has the role. How many years? You know, ask her questions like those questions. All right? And I asked her earlier about maths. I want to find out. So I'm going to get the scoop for you now. What kind of math students she was in high school. What high school did you go to, Honorable Minister?
I was a good math student. I love math. As you can see, my adult life.
Yes.
And most of it in the financial sector.
Yes.
You really need to know math if you're in that financial sector.
You hear that, students?
Wake up, you use a lot of numbers, you look at trends, you look at projections. So I love math. It is, as I said earlier on, it's a very precise discipline, and it helps you in terms of when you have difficult decisions to make, to be able to kind of just cut through the clutter.
Yes.
And help to make those decisions. And the one example I gave was just in the pandemic.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people think, you know, should I wear my mask or shouldn't I? Well,
Yes.
mathematics say that you should, because based on our positivity numbers right now, 1 in 3 persons has COVID. You know what I mean? So the math says, do it. Don't even think about it. Just do it.
Yes.
Wear your mask.
Yes.
Hand sanitize. Keep your social distance. Don't go to unauthorized parties, because you know once people start eating and drinking, they have to take off their mask, and suddenly, you know, all of that. So it helps you to be disciplined in your own life. I love to go out walking. I'm an active person in terms of exercise, and of course, you know, you're keeping track of how far you walk, how fast you walk, the calories and weight and all of those things. It's all math.
Yes, it's all maths. Maths is everywhere, and especially subtraction is very important. You know, let me say subtraction is important now, because addition is what we don't want in terms of the numbers, of persons who are contracting this COVID-19. In order to enjoy and see subtraction, we have to adhere to the rules, students, you know, as Honorable Minister said, to wear your masks, you know, and make sure you wash your hands. Do you know that you should wash your hands for 20 seconds? That's maths again, you know. 20 seconds. 20 seconds, you go like this and you can count. And you can perhaps use the alphabet as a good gauge. So while you're washing your hands, you can count the alphabet. You can say A, B, and of course, I'm going to ask how many letters are in the alphabet later on, so I'm not going to, you know, so prepare yourselves, students. But anyway, of course, Latoya Shore, she's going to be reading the students' questions, so let's hear those questions now, Latoya.
All right, good morning again, everyone. Good morning, our Minister, Honorable Favor.
Morning.
Okay, so here is well, there's not a name, but Galaxy Tab A actually did ask, were you good at math? And you did answer that question. But here's a really good one from Jamie Wisdom. I hope I'm not mispronouncing your name. Does math give you characteristics in life, such as reliability, reasonability, and dependability?
I have to say yes to all of those. For example, I know that in the political life right now, we are really busy with our time. And so when I give a commitment that I'll be there at a certain point in time, you know, I endeavor to be there. And so, of course, I have to calculate, well, you know, when I was in the physical world, if I have to go someplace, what time do I need to leave my desk in order to reach that place? Or in the virtual world, if I'm on another you know, session, what time do I need to get off of this one to be on that one? It is just, and it's a carryover from the discipline of math that keeps reminding me of the things I have to do, the time frame in which I have to do it. And, you know, just it orders my life for me without me even have to think about it sometime. It just helps me to lead a very orderly life.
All right. Agreed. Then I saw a lot of persons saying that or asking, when will we return to face?
Well, I know, boys and girls, that's a question that's near and dear to your hearts, to all of us. I would love to see all of you back in the physical world, because I know the importance of the social activities that happen at schools. It's where you meet your friends and you can develop friendships that last a lifetime. It's where you pursue extracurricular activities, you know, those after school activities. It's where you begin to know what sport it is that you like or want to excel in. There's so many other things that happen in the physical school other than, you know, your lessons in the classroom that are very important for you right now and for your life to come. And so, you know, I'd love to announce that tomorrow everybody will be in school, but I can't do that because we are living through a pandemic, and you must have heard that 1,000 times already. We are living through a health crisis, one in which this virus has attacked us. It attacked your respiratory system. It can attack old people, young people, boys, girls, women, men, brown, pink. It is no respecter of persons. And so we have to listen to the Ministry of Health and Wellness in terms of their directive about how we go to school, when we go to school, what do we do? You would have noticed that we started bringing our boys and girls back into the physical world, into your classrooms. But then we had to adjust that and said, okay, only the students who are sitting the exit exams, the PEP, the CSEC, the CAPE, that should come back into the physical world. And then we even had to adjust that further to say all our students have to be back home. We have to get to a point where, you know, we're not seeing these high COVID positive numbers anymore. And we have to get to a point where our hospital beds are not as full as they are now with persons who are suffering from COVID. So we have to get through this health crisis. And I want to tell you, and I ask you to tell your parents, tell everybody you know, we cannot hope everybody has to get out of this crisis or nobody gets out of this crisis. Meaning, because of the nature of this health crisis, where if one person has COVID, then it could spread to everybody else. So all of us have to do our part, and I know I've been stressing this today, but it is true. If we don't each take responsibility and do our part in terms of those three, hear the math again, the three very useful protocols: the mask, the hand washing, keeping your distance. We have to practice that religiously. That is going to help us to get through this pandemic, in addition to the vaccines that we are all taking, and will allow us to bring you back into the physical world, in the school environment, in a safe way. None of us want to get sick. And certainly we don't want our children in schools getting ill. And because it's shown that the young people don't necessarily have symptoms, but they can have the virus and they can spread it to others. So we have to be very careful on a day-by-day basis in our interactions with each other. And even when you're at home, if somebody calls you to the gate, don't just run out there without your mask. Put your mask on before you go out there. Tell your mommy, tell your daddy, tell your grandma, tell your grandaunt to please always wear it, because all of us need to get out of this pandemic, and we can't get out of it if some people are still having the COVID-19, virus.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for engaging with us and answering those questions and allaying the fears and reminding us about the importance of maths also. That maths, I like the point about dependability and reliability and how there's an alignment with maths and those notions. Very, very important. Dependability and reliability. And speaking about dependability, we told you students that we're going to be having a game room later on, so you don't want to miss that. So you must stay on for our game room. Thank you also, Latoya Shariah, for asking the questions on behalf of the students for us. All right? Remember, listen, Brandon and Rebecca, I know by now you have interacted with Latoya Shariah in the chat, so you can win the prizes. But listen now, game time again, interactive time coming up. So don't move, don't leave, all right? But I want to introduce some more math formations. So I want you to cast your eyes on the screen for math formations. Remember, stick around, because I have some more fun times coming up, game room coming up, more questions, more winnings. Listen, this is going to be a fabulous time that you're going to be enjoying right where you are. And guess what? It is free for everybody who's on. So listen, stick and stay. We'll be back in a short while after these videos. Math formations.
I am a problem solver. I can think critically. Math is the doorway to my dreams. I'm going to do math.
I am learning more math each day. Math is a treasure that follows its owner everywhere.
Maths made me a problem solver. Math is enjoyable. Math is creative. Math helps me achieve my goal. Math is stimulating. Math is fun.
Math is preparing me for a bright future.
My math improves every day. I can understand math if I give myself a chance. I like math because it's useful in our everyday life. I'm feeling better about math. I am mathematically inclined.
I am capable of learning math.
Mathematics is a part of who I am.
Math teaches us that there is a solution to every problem.
I am becoming a good math student.
I love math because it is useful in everyday life.
I am mathematically inclined.
I can understand math if I give myself a chance.
I am a critical thinker.
I am capable of learning math.
I was born to do math.
I am a problem solver. You are a good math student.
You can think critically.
Your math improves every day.
You are becoming a good math student.
Can do maths. Oh, she wasn't finished. I can do math. I am mathematically inclined. How many masks am I wearing now? Type it in the chat. How many masks am I wearing now? All right? How many masks am I wearing now? Type it in the chat. Listen, all these interactive activity, we're going to have winnings. And remember to stick around and stay because the game room is coming up. is going to be the most exciting part of this math explosion, all right? So remember, we're into the National Mathematics Week 2021, and the theme is Born to Do Math. All of you are born to do math. You just have to believe it. Let's hear from our friend from the Met Office right now and Grace Kennedy Insurance Company. We're going to go to that message right now. The Met Office and Grace Kennedy Insurance Company.
Hello and welcome. You are at Meteorological Service. My name is Romain Robinson and I'm a meteorologist and a GIS analyst here at the Met Service. Now, mathematics is one of those tools that we use here at the Met Office, and we use it every day. Mathematics helps us to generate measurements for our weather parameters, and these measurements help us to generate weather forecasts, and they help us to tally climate data. Now, the climate data is data that we have gathered for over very long periods of time, usually 30 years, sometimes more. And all this information is collated. We use averages, we use summations, and we do a lot of things with this data using mathematical tools. And this climate data also helps to drive some of the weather data as well. And the weather data also helps to drive the climate data. Now, these measurements of weather parameters help us to create forecasts, so we can look at what is likely to happen with the weather parameters and with the weather over short periods of time. So we can tell what's going to happen tomorrow, we can tell what's going to happen over the next 3 days by using mathematical calculations of weather parameters. And that's how we get our weather forecasts. Now, for a GIS perspective, mathematics is very helpful. Geographic Information Systems, GIS, also uses geography. Now, we put the mathematics and the geography together along with the climate data and the weather data to tell, or at least show, graphically show on maps what the weather conditions have been like over the past month, over the past day, over the past hour. And we can also tell what's going to happen in the future as well when we put all these mathematical calculations geographically onto a map, usually a map of Jamaica.
Hi, my name is Shaluk Richards and I'm the General Manager of GK General Insurance Company Limited. We're happy to partner with the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information in celebration of National Mathematics Week. This year being celebrated under the theme, Born to Do Math. Many mathematical concepts seems very abstract and theoretical while in school. However, these come to life in the insurance industry. Mathematical concepts are used to determine the appropriate premium to be charged for insurance policies. The premium is dependent on the projected potential claims cost, and this requires mathematical calculations and modeling to determine what is this appropriate premium. In determining how to invest the pool of funds, the amount of funds to invest, where to invest, and how to manage that investment pool, we also use mathematical principles. Claims, a critical part of the insurance industry, and setting aside the appropriate funds to cover these claims whenever they arise, also referred to as claims reserving, requires mathematical principles. Actuarial science that is rooted in mathematical concepts is absolutely critical for the insurance industry, assisting us in determining the necessary claims reserving to be put aside and all other projection and modeling that is required to ensure an effective and efficient insurance company. So as you can see, math is absolutely critical and necessary in the insurance industry. Now, once you believe you were born to do math and you love math, then you don't have to wonder, where will I apply these skills when I leave school? Because you know that in insurance, mathematics is critical.
Thank you very much, Mr. Romain Robinson. In fact, I want to introduce Mr. Davion Leslie, who is a former regional match coordinator, and he's coming. He's the program officer and he's coming to greet us now. So stick and stay. Remember, guys, girls everywhere, game room is coming up. And listen, when I tell you we have prizes for you, we have several prizes, all right? So remember, when you answer the questions, you'll be contacted directly. You'll be contacted directly, and you need to give us your email address, your telephone number, and then we're going to contact you, because we want to make sure that the persons who won are the persons who are going to get the winnings. All right? And remember, we have winnings, so you tell us your number and whether it's a line number or a digital number. That's very important. Tell us whether it's a line number or a digital number. And guess what? I'm a winner. You're a winner, all right? So let's now hear from Mr. Davion Leslie, Program Officer of Jamaica Teaching Council, former Regional Maths Coordinator.
I failed math consistently as a child. There wasn't a math test they could give me that I could not fail. Growing up, I was convinced of two truths. One, there were two types of people in the world. Those who were born to do math and those who were born to do anything else. And the second truth I was convinced of is that I was one of those persons who was born to do anything but math. I grew up in a household where reading was very important. We read anything that we could put our hands on. We read recycled newspaper. We read old books that we could find around the house, old journals, novels, the Bible, anything at all. We were a family of readers. And it was acceptable in my household that we could not do math. It was well known that we could not do math. We were a family of readers. And so growing up, I quickly came to realize that doing well in math was not something that I was expected to do. When my parents came to school, for example, to pick up my report, they would be very proud of what I had done in all the other subjects. And then when they met with the math teacher, my mother would explain to the math teacher in my presence that neither she could do math nor my father. And so it was acceptable that I also, and not just acceptable, but expected that I would not be able to do well in math. And so I quickly learned that math was something that I was not born to do, and that it was something that I wasn't expected to do well at. Growing up, I was convinced I was bright. I was convinced I was bright because everybody told me I was bright. And as a result, I got the impression that if I am bright, I'm supposed to be able to do well at anything. And if there's something that I can't do well at, that is the thing that I was not born to do. And it's one of those things that worked against me. Once I had to make an effort to learn something, I became convinced that that thing is not something that I was born to do. And math was that thing for me. And so I failed math throughout primary school, throughout high school. When I applied to university to do my first degree, my sixth form teacher, I recall, encouraged me to do economics, and I did. And I always tell people that that man was a wicked brute, because he didn't tell me that the econ first degree has so many math courses, and so by the time I got to university, I was failing math and failing quite a few of my first degree courses because they were heavily based in mathematics. And it wasn't until I revisited how I felt about mathematics, and I revisited my thoughts and ideas about what it meant to learn mathematics, that I started doing well in mathematics. I had to change the approach that I took. The first thing that I had to change was my belief system about mathematics. I quickly had to realize that everybody had to work hard for the things that they wanted to achieve, and that making mistakes is not a sign that you are not good at something. It simply means that you haven't learned it yet, and that with effort anybody could learn anything at all. And once I changed my approach, I quickly realized that math was something that not only was I able to do it, but I actually enjoyed it. I liked the challenge that it gave me, and as a result I completed my first degree. and went on to do, of all things, a master's in mathematics. This was somebody who all of his life was convinced that he couldn't do math. Somebody who all of his life thought that there was a math gene that I did not get, and as a result had not made any attempt to learn the subject. I completed my master's in mathematics, and of all things I became a math teacher. And I was always amazed at the number of students I saw who were like me, who felt that math was not something that they were born to do, and therefore it doesn't matter how hard they tried, they simply would never learn the subject. And so I've worked in mathematics for all of my adult life. I have taught mathematics, I have studied mathematics, I've even written mathematics books, because it's a subject that I now realize that with effort I could learn. One of the most important things I tell people who are struggling with mathematics is to identify their feelings about the subject, and more importantly to identify what they believe about their capacity to learn. Do they believe that effort is required to learn difficult things? Or do they believe that if they have to try, it's an indication that they are not smart enough to learn that thing? And the truth is, if you believe the latter, if you believe that you should be able to learn anything at all without trying, and if you have to try, it means that you can't learn that thing, then you are not likely to learn anything that you have to make an effort to understand. Whether it is math, or Spanish, or learning to drive, or anything at all, you will simply not learn it if you discount the value of effort. To students who are struggling with mathematics, I know what it feels like to see letters crawling across a page and you are not sure what any of it means. I know what it feels like to think you are working hard and only to realize that you are still failing. I know what it feels like to pay attention in class, to be a diligent student, to make an effort to study, to swat, to cram, and you still don't see yourself getting the results that you want. One of the things that I would encourage these students to do is to change their approach to the subject. It is important that they make an effort to understand the subject, not just try to memorize it. One of the things that I had to do when I started learning mathematics and making an effort in the subject, I made a commitment to myself. I was never going to move on from an idea until I understood that idea. And I repeat that. I made a commitment to myself that when I'm learning mathematics, I was never going to move on from an idea until I understood that idea, because I knew that idea was going to come back down the road, and if I didn't understand it, no, other things on which that idea depends, I won't understand either. And so I spent hours understanding the basic ideas in mathematics, because I knew that at some point those basic ideas are going to become important as I learn more complex ideas. And so that is one of the things that I always encourage students to do. There, I wish I could give you a magic, a secret, some tip that will make you brilliant math students overnight. But unfortunately, that's not the case. It's going to require effort. Frankly, anything that is rewarding will require effort. And math is one of those things. It will require effort and you will fail. You will not always understand. As a matter of fact, you should look forward to those experiences where you don't understand, because it is in those experiences that your brain is really working. It is in those experiences that you're really using your brain. The more you use your brain, the more brain you have to use. You can grow your brain by struggling through things that you do not understand. So don't shy away from those things. Don't shy away from experiences where you're not sure what to do. The brain loves those opportunities because that is how you grow your brain. It is important that you remember that everybody at some point didn't know how to do something. Einstein, just like all of us, had to learn to count from 1 to 10. There was a time when Shakespeare didn't know his ABCs. All of us don't know something at some point and have to make an effort to understand it. So don't give up. I have significant confidence that you can and will do well in mathematics if you work hard enough.
Officer Mr. Davian Leslie with some very, very important encouragement to tell us how important maths is. Now listen, how important maths is. Listen, I have some prizes for you. I told you there are winnings. Remember, it's very easy. Just type your name. Just send directly to Latoya Shroyer. Type your name, email address, and your telephone number, whether it's a Lime or Digicel, and we will contact you if you answer these questions correctly. All right? My fun time. Now, these are all my questions, so brace yourself. Let's go right away. How many pairs of animals did Moses take into the ark? The first person to answer that, then I have a prize for you. How many pairs of animals did Moses take into the ark? That's my question. And remember, we're in Math Explosion 2021, the virtual edition. If you're just joining us, my name is IT, ITY, I thank you. It's an acronym. I thank you for joining us. And it's National Mathematics Team. How many pairs of animals did Moses take into the ark? I'm talking about all of you who are here on YouTube, who are here on Facebook and Zoom. YouTubers, shout out to YouTubers and the people on FB. Big up, welcome to all the students who are with their parents or guardians or caregivers. You can get help from them. All right. You can get help from your parents or guardians or caregivers with these questions. All right. How many pairs of animals did Moses take into the ark? If you answer that correctly, you are in for the win. All right. That's the first thing. Then, my next question. How many numbers are in the alphabet? Nobody here in the room can answer that question because they are not qualified to win any of the prizes. How many numbers are in the alphabet? Remember, just type the answer. We are monitoring YouTube and the Facebook and Zoom. So we'll see via the timestamp who answered the question first. All right? And listen, those who are in primary schools, do me a favor quickly. Please type the name of the best primary school in Jamaica. Please. Please type the name of the best primary school in Jamaica. Let me see. That's 3. Please type the name of the best primary school in Jamaica. I'm looking for the person to type that primary school. Which is the first primary school that's in the chat, or on YouTube, or on Zoom? The best primary school in Jamaica. Remember, we do have prizes, but we want to make sure that only the winners get the prizes, and therefore you interact with Latoya Shroyer on Zoom. But if you're on YouTube, you could type the answer also. We'll see who's the first person to type based on the timestamp. So if several answers go up and they are correct, we'll pick the first one. All right? My producer, are the answers coming in? How many pairs of animals did Moses take into the ark? And remember also, how many numbers are in the alphabet? The first person to type that win. And yes, you can ask father, mother, stepfather, you can ask auntie, grandma, caregiver, guardian, teacher, friend, neighbor, anybody, and type in the answer. And yes, you can win. All right? So, let me ask you this question now. Using only addition, how do you add 8s and get the number 1,000? Look on your screen right now. Look on your screens. Using only addition, how do you add 8s and get the number thousands? All right? I know you think, say, all right, now, you can't go 4 8s because that's 8,000. But if you got 3 8s, 888, that's still not 1,000. I'm giving you clues here. Adding only 8s, how can you get to 1,000? All right, no, now one if IT have the answer. Yeah, I have the answer. I have the correct answer. And yes, There's a correct answer. You can add 8 and get 1,000. There you go. There you go. We'll put it on the screen. So if you didn't catch it or screenshot it, then you missed it. If you didn't catch it or screenshot it, then you missed it. So we put it on fast. A quick look. So we'll give you clues. We'll make it easy for you. All right? So I'm going to be talking to the Honorable Minister in the meantime, between time, while you get your fast fingers ready. All right? While you get your fast fingers ready. Using only addition, how do you get 8s? How do you add 8 and get to 1,000? All right? Remember, my questions are up to how many pairs of animals did Moses take into the ark? And of course, how many numbers are in the alphabet? You type the correct answer, and then you're in for the win. Speaking of numbers, I'm going to be reinviting again our Honorable Minister of Education, who's coming on to speak to us now. No, so if you're just joining us, then you'll have heard me introduce her earlier, and she came on and she interacted and things. So she came on and she was here. Yes, all right. But my questions are live. That's good. So you see, how many times did the minister appear today? If you're doing maths, she appeared more than once today, a couple of times. Nobody can get my answer? How many pairs of animals did Moses take into the ark? Or how many numbers are in the alphabet? What about if you're in a race and you overtake the person in second place? What is your place now? If you're in a race running and you run past the person in second place, what is now your position? If you're in a race, you overtake the person who was in second place, what is now your position? All right, you can type it in because, you can be in for the win. All right? Remember, YouTubers, yes. Facebook, yes. Zoom, everybody, everywhere. You all can enter because we have prizes for everybody, everywhere. Remember, when you type your number, say whether it's a digital or a line number. It's very important because, listen, we have some phone cards to give away too. Yes. Credit. All right? So, I gave you several questions. We're still inside the maths trivia question, and the first one was using only addition. How do you add 8 and get to the number 1,000? Let me ask you a fun one. I am an odd number. Take away one letter and I become even. What number am I? I am an odd number. Take away one letter and I become even. What number am I? I am an odd number. Take away one letter and I become even. What letter am I? Remember, yes, YouTube, Facebook, Zoom, you all are in for the win. Anybody can win. We have things to win. Whole heap of things, enough things. We have enough things to win. I'm an odd number, take away one letter, and I become even. What letter am I? All right, so listen, we're going to be coming back and announcing the winners in a short while, but we have a game room. We're going to go to the game room right now. I promised you a game room, a fun segment. We're going to go over there, so stick and stay. we're going over to the game room, and all the questions that we have asked, we will follow through and check the answers on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Zoom also. And then we will announce the winners. Congratulations to the winners. Math count. You were born to do maths. If you just are joining us, you're inside Math Explosion 2021, the virtual edition. My name is IT. Let's jump over to the game room right now. We are there.
ABC, 1, 2, 3. Maths for you and me and he and she. This is Shakespeare Dan Dada, and I'm representing for the National Numeracy Team. Through the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, in a desperate attempt to raise the profile of maths for a younger and future generation. Roll out there now. Parents gone to work.
I take a chance with these, sir.
Alright,
yes, sir. I'm to say.
Wait, D is the answer for true. D is
all
the
right,
answer.
all right, D.
I
Let's
say
go with
C.
D. Let's go with D. Let's see what happens. Let me clear the screen.
I think we're
all right, D. I'm going with D.
Sir, if we're wrong, me I take the fall for that one. No more. Me I do it, brother. Me I take the fall.
Let's see. Ready?
Liam, you're going to run through again. You're going to run through. Oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, man.
Question 1. Which unit of measure is most appropriate to measure the following? Look at this tall glass of orange juice. Which unit of measure would you use to measure it?
Liter.
Let us see if you're correct. Yes, you are. It's liter.
Nathan, we're back to you. Select your category.
Miss 200 multiplication and division.
Awesome. So 200 for multiplication and division. Let's go.
Miss 4 times 2 equal 8.
4 times 2 equal 8. Congratulations. You are correct. Well done.
Yummy, yummy. I eat from this to fill my tummy.
What do you eat from to fill your tummy?
The pot.
The pot. The pot. You eat from the pot.
It's the dish.
Let's try the pot. Let's try the pot. Let's try the pot to see what happens.
The plate. The dish. The plate.
All right.
It takes Cal 32 seconds to cut the green light.
It takes 4 times.
Now makes me work so hard. Confident out there now. Wash your ears now. Maths in my world. Maths in my world.
All right, welcome back. Now listen. On the IG page, that's the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information IG page, and also on the Facebook page is where we're going to give you the links that you can join us, all right? So you need to be going on to the IG page, the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information IG page, and on the Facebook page where you can join us, all right? Right now, we're in for the win, all right? Check us out. Remember, this has been and still is Math Explosion 2021. All right, we're going right now. Over to IG and Facebook and the game room. And we thank you for joining us today. Of course, my name is IT. ITY, it's an acronym, means I thank you.
And he parents gone to work. Them a do the maths. We a early for school. Me a do the maths. Me polishing my shoes. Me pulling up my socks. Taxi man collecting fear. I fi do the maths.
I love math because it is useful in everyday life.
Numeracy level no drop and be proud of that. Maths in the schools need to improve that.
I was born to do math.
Challenge myself, set goals up top. Maths are for me, maths are for you. Look how hard me I work, oh God. Now feel maths me work.
You are a good math student.
Confident out there now, one straight A's now. Maths in my world, my world. Maths in my world, my world.
Math is the doorway to my dreams.
1, 2, 3. Maths for you and me and he and she. Parents gone to work. Them a do the maths. We are early for school. Me a do.
You can think critically.
Me pulling up my socks, taxi man collecting fear. I fi do the math. The numeracy level not drop and be proud of that. Maths in the schools need to improve. That. Challenge myself, set goals up.
I am capable of learning math.
And be proud of that. Maths in the schools need to improve. That. Challenge myself, set goals up top. Maths are for me, maths are for you. That.
Your math improves every day.
Maths are for me, maths are for you. That.
I am a problem solver.
Well, maths me work so hard. Confident out there now. One straight A's now. Maths in my world, my world. Maths in my world, my world. ABC, 1, 2, 3. Maths for you and me.